So one woman asked, who would replace me in the family plan should I pass away so that my family still sees the child, which is a very interesting point. And another asked, my husband died and we have 2 children. How can I ensure that they go to the correct guardian if anything happens to me? And I think in this, I also would like you to address the issue of a father as the biological guardian.
So it's important for everyone to remember that if you nominate a guardian in terms of a will, it is only a wish. It is still required that a court appoints a legal guardian on behalf of a minor. You can approach the children's court for this application. Obviously, you'll have to get some legal advice with regards to the steps that you need to follow for this. What's important is that we have to remember that the parent that survives the one that has passed away is a natural guardian, and they automatically have guardianship. You don't need to apply for it. If you have a situation where you are concerned that in the situation we spoke about previously, that the father is an alcoholic or engages in certain behavior that you are not happy with, or you don't want your child to be around, you need to consider dealing with that during your lifetime, because what will happen when you pass away is that natural guardianship is automatic. There's nothing that needs to be done, and the father has access to the child and rights to the child, and nobody else would. The actual guardianship application happens in a children's court in front of a judge. A social worker will be appointed, and there'll be a few considerations that happens before a legal guardian gets appointed. They look at things like why do they want to be appointed as the legal guardian, what's their financial capabilities, is there criminal records, relationship with the child, so quite a few things, you know. So it's important for the single moms to take this very, very seriously, you know. In my case, if I was in the same position and I was a single mom, I'd probably say I'd want my mom to be my child's legal guardian, and I'll put that in the will. But when that appears in front of a judge, the judge is going to see that my mom's 72 years old and she doesn't have a stable financial income. And it's most likely that my wish is not going to be honored.
But in your scenario, if you wanted your child to go to your mother, but you had sufficient funds in testamentary trust to support your mother with the child, that would change the conversation again.
100%,
Okay.
because you'd have one tick box to say, okay, the child will be taken care of from a financial aspect. All the other tick boxes still need to happen, because at the end of the day, the judge will make a decision that is right for the child and not for the guardian.
I think this is really important, because I always assumed that whatever you put in your will would be, that person would be the guardian, but it still has to go through a court process,
100%.
which is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, this particular...
Maya, I think, so, sorry, just to add, just remember, a will deals with assets. Your child is not an asset. Taking care of your child is not an asset.
That's actually such a, and let's remember that. That's a very good point. And I want to go back to that first question, which was, how can I know that my family still sees the child? So this could be a scenario where she knows the biological father will get guardianship, and she wants to make sure her family still have access. Is that something that she can specify in her will, and which the courts will take into consideration when giving the guardianship? I mean, how does she navigate that?
It's a difficult situation. Again, I mean, a will, that is just a wish in a will, you know. It'll be really great during her lifetime if she does have these conversations and make sure everybody in the family has this understanding that that needs to happen. But again, we must just be careful about ruling from the grave. Some things can become a little bit impossible, and therefore who's applying for guardianship is going to be very important. Have the conversations with your family. If it's your sister that you want to take up guardianship, have the conversation with her and say, this is how I'd like my child to be brought up if I'm not here one day.
You can have it in a letter of wishes. Again, it's just a letter of wishes,
Correct.
but it does provide guidance.
100%.